But the easiest way is post it on your social media. You don't have to have a whole lot of followers to market your stuff. People already following you. That means they at least like you enough to follow you. So yeah, slap it on there. You can make some promo in Canva. You know I love some Canva, and slap it up there. Hit up some people that you're cool with. Call your friends. Annoy them. Get them to buy your book. It's okay. Especially if you're not selling stuff all the time, people will support you. This is episode 105 of the Arts Academy podcast with Victor Varnado and Roxxy Haze. How to write a poetry book.
Everybody, this is the Arts Academy podcast. I am Dean Victor Varnado. This is Deputy Headmistress
Roxxy Haze.
Deputy Headmistress Roxxy Haze.
Roxxy Haze, baby. That's me.
That's you, Roxy. How's it going?
Pretty well, man. Pretty great. I'm doing pretty great today. I'm having a wonderful day. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. I am about to become a publicly traded person.
Let's go. So, we're gonna have to do an episode on that now too.
Yeah, I look at it kind of like a Patreon, but like a very close Patreon. It's really interesting. I wasn't as interested in Patreon, but I am interested in this.
So now we're going to do an episode on Patreon and how to become a publicly traded person. So if that's something that you're interested in, be on the lookout for those episodes.
That's hilarious. I cannot wait. I can't wait to be a publicly traded person. I am so excited about it right now.
I'm excited to see what happens.
How it works. Oh my God. I'm going to be a publicly traded person. I'm going to throw it up on TikTok. I'll be like, hey, everybody, I'm a publicly traded person. You should be one too. And then everybody's you can buy stock in me. It's $5.
I'm buying some $5 stock in you. $5. If I bought stupider things. You're like, yeah, do good, so Victor, because I have stock in you. But all today we're going to talk about...
Yeah, sorry. Oh, yes, you're right. That's exactly what I was about to say. I was like, what are we doing?
I almost forgot. But today we're going to talk about how to write a poetry book. How to write a book of poetry. Which one is it? A poetry book or a book of poetry? So I know for the title.
I would say a poetry book.
Okay. Oh, y'all can see all my clothes on my bed. When I moved, the blur was there. I need to fold clothes. All right. So first, what you want to do? Okay. First, I'm gonna go from the outline, and then I'm gonna tell you guys what I did, which is gonna be completely different than this outline. All right. So first, you want to choose a theme or a focus. So, what do you want your book of poetry about? I know a lot of times when you think of poetry, you think of love poetry, but there's so many other genres of poetry. It's life and trauma and children's poetry and story and all that stuff. So what do you want this to be about? It could be about your life. What do you want this poetry to be about? Once you've done that, create a plan. So how do you want this to look? If you've already... What? Once you have a thing...
My cats are freaking out. I'm going to feed them. I'll be right back.
Oh, it's okay. I'm about to read this sentence because it looks weird. Once you have a focus or a theme, create a plan for your book. Decide how many poems you want to include and what order they will be in and what kind of structure you want this to be. And once again, y'all, I'm reading this outline and then I'm going to tell y'all what I did because I didn't do this at all. Next, you're going to write the poems. So begin writing your poems. Experiment with different styles and forms. Like, what do you want them to look like? Are you doing longer poems? Are you doing short form poems? Do you want the ones where it kind of makes a shape? Be thinking about that while you're writing your poems. Definitely you want to mix in longer and shorter poems unless you're writing a book of poetry that is supposed to be all long or all short. And then the next thing you want to do is edit it. So never edit while you're writing. Just write it out. Get it out your head. It's so much easier to edit after. It's so much better to edit after. What I like to do is take some time in between when I wrote it and edited it. So I'll at least try to take a day. I don't try to edit it the same day. I let my brain get rest because sometimes you figure some more stuff out and you want to add that in there. But do not edit while you're writing. Next, figure out how you want to lay the book out. I used Canva to lay out and design my book. I did it myself in there, but you can also use InDesign, Adobe InDesign. You can hire a graphic designer to do it, but just figure out how you want to look at it. So look at different poetry books and go from there. And then get feedback. So send it to your friends, send it to your family, send it to people that you respect. Like let them read through it and give their opinion. It's hard sometimes to hear people's critiques, so like don't take stuff personal. Just get their feedback, and just because you're getting feedback doesn't mean you have to use it all. So when I was sending my book out, it was some people that were like, this poem is I don't really like this one, but I like it, so I'll put it in there. It's my book. So just because you're getting feedback doesn't mean you have to take everything, but also like it's not personal.
When I met you, I didn't even consider you like the type of person who'd like to write a poetry book.
Oh, I'm very I'm emo.
I know that
emo.
now, but like when I first met you, I didn't.
Like she's not. Yo, I was reading that book too. It is sad. My God, I was like, hey, relax. What are you going through? Very sad poems in there. And then last, what you want to do is publish your book. So figure out like, are you self-publishing your book? Are you going through a publisher? All of those things are kind of, you already need to know what you're doing before you write the book. We have an episode on how to self-publish a book, so I'm not going to go too in depth in that. I'll put it in the comments. I'll link that video in the comments. You can go through there and market it. So you can hire a marketing department. What's the one is it Bookify?
I'm sorry?
To market a book? The one you were telling me about?
To market a book?
Yeah, like when you have a book out.
Oh, there's a lot of different places that you can hire to market your book. Some of them are shady, so you got to be careful. But maybe actually, I'm actually going to be investigating a bunch of companies because I'm going to be putting out a couple of books with some people. And so I'm actually going to be checking in on some companies. So once I have checked in on a few companies, maybe we can get back to it.
Okay, we'll make an episode on that. So I'll put it on the list. But the easiest way is post it on your social media. You don't have to have a whole lot of followers to market your stuff. People already following you. That means they at least like you enough to follow you. So yeah, slap it on there. You can make some promo in Canva. I love some Canva, and slap it up there. Hit up some people that you're cool with. Call your friends. Annoy them. Get them to buy your book. It's okay. Especially if you're not selling stuff all the time, people will support you. If you're part of a church, tell the church. Be like, hey, y'all spending money. Y'all got the bread. Buy my book. You have to be okay with being a little annoying. You got to kind of be a little annoying when you're trying to sell stuff, but make sure you put it out there and market. And that's pretty much it. That is it on how to write a book of poetry. Now, this is how I wrote my book of poetry, and this might be the same case for a lot of other people. I was never planning on writing a book of poetry. I was just sad. And when I get sad, I will write poetry. So eventually I was like, I have a whole lot of notebooks of this really emo, depressing, sad stuff. And I want to write a book. So that's what I did. I put the poems together. I figured out, I kind of started reading through them and was like, okay, these kind of go together. These kind of go together. And I put them in sections. And it was like the pain section, the pleasure section, and everything else. So I put all my super sad ones in the pain. The pleasure was all my nasty, freaky poems. And then the everything else was like about life and all that kind of stuff. And that was it. I put it together. I designed it in Canva. I sent it to a couple of my friends. None of the haters. Don't ever send yourself to. We all got those friends or acquaintances that don't like uplift you and always got something negative to say. Don't send it to them. They want your demise. So sent it to them, edited it, and put that thing out on Amazon. And people actually been messing with it. One of my friends told me I haven't been promoting it enough. So I'm actually going to be working on that next week. You got to post it more than a couple of times because sometimes people don't see it, especially on Instagram with how trash the algorithm is. But yeah, and it takes 2 months to get your money from Amazon, just FYI, when your residuals check or whatever that's called. It takes 2 months because I'm like, yo, where's my money? I know I sold some books, but yeah, it's 2 months after the end of that month. So for January, I won't be seeing that check till March. And
I'm glad you sold some books though.
Yeah, people liked it. I was like, oh, that's crazy. What's wrong with y'all? But it was dope. It's dope. You never know what people like.
Books are like one of my favorite things to suggest to people that are like stand-ups that are like on their way up or whatever. Because if you have a book, it's like you can put a couple in your backpack wherever you're going. And then right after you get off stage, you know, people like you. And so you could probably sell a couple of books. Like there was a comedian, you remember Anthony Capfer, he had set it up so that he got Anthony Capfer, like I think every time that he did a show, even if it was like a show that was like a free show, he would end up making like between like $20 to $100 every night, and or
great.
not even that, every show, because it could go to multiple shows a night.
So I'm getting some more books now so that I can start selling them at shows and when I go on the road and stuff too. So it's definitely, we all have different kind of merch, but I do think like books are really, people like books. Like even if they don't read it, books make you feel like, oh, I'm fancy. So yeah, get you a book, make you a book. Hey, do the thing. If you want to write a book, write the book. All right. So that is it for me from this episode. You got anything to add, Victor?
Only that I think that everybody should keep making stuff, live a life where you can make whatever you want and do whatever you want.
Facts. This bars. Victor with the bars, as always. And that is it for this episode of the Arts Academy podcast. Make sure to check us out at artsacademypodcast.com.
artsacademy.com and
Arts Academy.
artsacademypodcast.com and Arts Academy on all social media.
Or check out the links below. Make sure to join our group on Facebook so that you can see these episodes live and ask us any questions that you have. And if you have questions, please let us know in the comments. We're always checking the comments and we may record your episode. That's it. Bye. Peace. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye. Where's my mouse? There it goes.
You can find us at artsacademypodcast.com.